Thank you for tuning in to SimPilot 2450. It would be greatly appreciated if you guys could show your support for this video and the channel by liking and subscribing so others like you can find the channel. Let's go have some fun. Thanks. Hi folks, welcome back to the channel and another flight with SimPilot 2450. Today we'll have a nice little local flight, and when I say local, I mean from my hometown airport located in Brewer, Maine. As you know, I have a Cessna 140, so I thought today's flight would be appropriate to use the Aeroplane 140. So we'll fly to a local airport about 15 miles away, Griffin Field. Both of these strips are grass strips, and I created the scenery for them. So let's get started, and I'll give you a little look of Brewer Airport, and then we'll jump in the aircraft and head to Griffin Field. Let's get started. Well, welcome to Brewer Airport. We'll give you a little tour of the airport. This is where my plane is kept. Take a little tour here. Not a lot involved. There's some airplanes over here. We can head out front. The blue hangar here is the main hangar. We have a little office there. Few little planes. I don't know why 93 Echo just submerged. Had a couple club aircraft back in the 90s when I was learning to fly, and two club airplanes were old Cessna 150s. They were square tails. 4-1 uniform would sit here, and 93 Echo would be there. So the strip is a grass strip. We are looking, this would be taking off for 19 to the south. And as you'll notice on the approach to 19, you do come over the wires. Something that's a little interesting with Brewer Airport is all of the pattern work is done to the east side of the airport, so it's done on this side of the airport. So it's a right-hand traffic pattern if you're landing runway 01, and it's a left-hand traffic pattern if you're landing runway 19. And the pattern altitude is only 600 feet MSL, which here is actually only 500 feet above the ground level. Now you might ask, why is the approach so low? Well, the reason is Brewer Airport sits directly beneath the final approach to runway 33 at Bangor International Airport. Brewer Airport actually sits inside of the inside ring of the Bangor Class C airspace. Now, when Bangor was upgraded to Class C airspace, a representative from the FAA actually came over to the clubhouse. I was in the clubhouse at the time. He handed me the paper, and basically what they were saying is, we are going to shut down Brewer Airport. So I formed the Brewer Airport Association. I put together about a 40-page rebuttal to the FAA's directive that saying that they were going to close the airport, and we fought the FAA. Long story short, we actually won. And what happened, what came out of that, I can show you on the sectional. Let me bring up the sectional. If we take a look at the sectional for the Bangor area, so here is the Bangor Class C airspace. So Brewer Airport is located inside of this inside ring, which you see the restrictions are 4,200 all the way down to the surface. Well, to allow Brewer to continue to operate, they created this little teeny cutout. And you can see here now the lower restriction, instead of going down to the surface, it only goes to 700 feet. So we can sneak in underneath the approach, and that's why we have a traffic pattern of only 600 feet. So today's flight will be taken off out of Brewer. We'll follow Union Street all the way out here to Levant, and we will be going to Griffin Field. Alright, let's jump in the aircraft and get started. Well, welcome to the cockpit of the Aeroplane Cessna 140. This cockpit is slightly different than my 140 because the original dash on my 140 has been taken out and was replaced with a 150 dash. So mine doesn't quite look like this. And another difference is the original 140 came with a 85 horsepower Continental. Well, my airplane has a 100 horse Continental, and I don't have a wooden prop, I have a metal prop. Alright, well, let's get started. Parking brake is on. Fuel selector is on the right tank. We've got a half tank, Looks good. We'll come on with to both mags. Throttle is idle. Come forward with the mixture. We'll come on with the master switch. Let's go ahead and turn on our beacon and nav lights. And we'll make sure the prop area is clear. Clear prop. Yeah, we'll come on with the avionics, even though we're really not going to be using them. I do feel that this has a pretty realistic sound to it. You know, my airplane sounds very similar to this. Let's go ahead and get this set up. We really don't need it. Okay, so we are going to be flying to Griffin Field, which is Papa Golf 1. So let's hit enter. So that should be all set. So the winds are pretty light today, so I think we'll take off to the north. Everything's clear here. And we will follow Union Street to the west, and we'll fly out to Griffin Field. So our altimeter is set. This is Brewer Airport, located in Brewer, Maine. So we'll taxi down to the other end and we'll take off runway 01. Make sure everything is clear here. Nice little grass strip. It used to be paved, but the pavement was all broken up, so we pulled up the pavement, brought in a little bit of dirt, and as you can see, it's finally kind of grassed over. I mow this airport by towing some gang mowers I bought, and I tow those behind my pickup truck. That's how I used to mow the runway. So there is a golf course on the other side of these bushes, so that kind of helps your approach coming in on 01. Much easier approaching 01 than it is 19, because you have the wires on 19. So let's set the parking brake. We'll bring our RPMs up to 1700 and we'll check our mags. 1700. That looks good. Again, about a 50 RPM drop, which is within range. The carb heat I don't think is operational. No, it doesn't appear to be modeled, so we won't worry about the carb heat. So we'll check our takeoff trim. We look good there. One thing I'll mention, the ground handling is actually easier in my full scale 140 than it is this one. And I find that to be true with all of the tail draggers in the simulator. I have a much easier time in full scale than I do in the simulator. So we'll get lined up and we'll see hopefully how we handle this takeoff. So everything looks good. Coming in with the power. Come in with full power. Comes the tail up. A little squirrely. And let's rotate. Climb out at about 70. So I'm letting the nose come down just slightly to gain some airspeed. And now I will trim up for 70. That's looking pretty good right there. So again, you want to trim on every phase of your flight. So I'm basically flying hands off. I'm not yet touching the yoke. And we're maintaining 70 miles an hour. We'll climb up to 1,000 feet and then we'll level off. So this is Bangor International Airport. This is the Penobscot River. We are almost flying over downtown Bangor. Downtown Bangor is right here. Okay, there's 1,000 feet. We'll come down with the nose. Come back with the throttle to our cruise RPM, about 2,200. So because I'm needing to hold down pressure on the yoke, I'm going to dial in some down trim so we can trim for cruise. and you'll keep holding down pressure until your airspeed has increased to its cruising level. So I'm still dialing in some down trim because I'm holding down pressure on the yoke, and you can see I've even gained 100 feet. So we'll try to level that off here and stay at 1,000. But make sure you use trim in all phases of flight. Still dialing in some down trim because we're just about at our cruising airspeed now, so things should settle down. But I do want to decrease our altitude to 1,000 feet. This is Union Street right here. We'll basically follow Union Street right out to Levant. So we are in Class C airspace right now, so we would be talking with the tower. There's 1,000 feet. We gained a little bit of airspeed just because we were descending, so give a minute for things to settle down. Bangor International Airport is the home of the 101st Air Refueling Wing, Air National Guard. KC-135's here, and this is the Guard base. So I'm basically hands off right now. Okay, I'll have to touch the yoke every once in a while just to level out wings. If you want to be lazy, you know, a lot of times I'd keep my hands right in my lap, and you can just touch your rudder to lift a wing. See, the lilacs are in bloom here. Bangor International Airport, it's a pretty long runway. I'm trying to think now. I think it's 10,000 feet, I'm not sure, but actually was one of the emergency sites for the space shuttle. This is Pushar Lake. There's a nice little float plane base and a little teeny grass strip there. I actually published a flight a while ago, some local airports, and that was one of the strips I landed into. Check that out. It's a fun little airstrip to fly in and out of. So we're just getting to the outside limits of the Bangor city limits, and we'll be flying into Levant. All of these communities here are all little farm communities, bedroom communities for Bangor. Again, we are following Union Street here. The VOR, the Bangor VOR, let's see if we can see it. Somewhere right along, oh, the hill, here we are, here's the VOR. beautiful little area to fly out of. There's lots of farms. Alright, let's start paying attention here so we can find the airstrip. We're still following Union Street, so that's good. We're basically going to follow Union Street all the way to Treworgy's orchards. It's a nice little apple orchard that all the locals go to every fall to pick apples. They have a corn maze with some type of diagram every year in the corn maze. This year I think it's a little fawn with also a little baby rabbit. We should be flying over it, so I might be able to show that to you. So this farm up here, this is Treworgy's, and Griffin Field will be just to the left of us, left of Treworgy's. See, there's a little airstrip right here. This is Lake Road Strip. Maybe we'll come and do a landing there too to finish up our flight today. So let's head out to Treworgy's. Here is the corn maze, and you see if you can see what it is. I think it is a fawn and a baby rabbit. So Griffin Field actually has two strips, one right here and then another one running this way. So here's the corn maze. We're looking at it kind of the wrong way. This would be the back of the deer. Here's the ear, eyes. Here's the little baby rabbit. So we're looking at it really upside down. So maybe on one of our approaches, if we do a touch and go when I come back, maybe we'll get a better view of it. So here's the airstrip. So we're basically flying a crosswind right now. Let's go ahead and we'll turn downwind. Now when you initiate your turn, because you're splitting the lift vector, you'll actually have to come in with a little bit of back pressure on the yoke to maintain your altitude. Let's roll out on downwind. What I try to do is have the airstrip kind of line up with my jury strut. So these fittings right here, that's kind of what I use for my spacing. If the carb heat was functional, we'd come on with the carb heat now at about midfield, but it isn't working, so we won't worry about it. Alright, as we approach the end of the runway, I'm going to come back with the power. Because I don't want the nose to sink, I've got to come in with a little bit of back pressure. I'm going to come in with some flaps. And now I'm going to start bringing some up trim to dial out the pressure on the yoke. We want to trim for 60. So I'm holding the nose until we hit an airspeed of about 60, and then I'll let the nose seek what it needs to maintain that. So you see we're staying at 60 pretty good. I'm really not holding any back pressure now on the yoke. All of that pressure has been relieved by trim. Okay, so here's the airstrip. So we are going to turn final. That's looking pretty good. And again, I'm not touching the yoke. I am going to have to come in with a little bit of power because the power now is maintaining our pitch picture. A little bumpy right there. Let's see if we can wheel this one on. There we go. Come in with full power. Come up with the flaps. So I'll try to get you a better look at the corn maze. So instead of doing a nice straight climb out here, I'm going to actually turn a little bit to the right so we can look at Treworgy's out the left window. And hopefully I can give you a better view of the corn maze. Alright, so here's the corn maze. So supposedly this is a little bunny rabbit and this is a deer. Can you see how that might be it? Maybe it's a pig, but there's the ears to the bunny rabbit. All right, so let's try one of the other runways just to give you another view. So we just took off from this runway. Let's level off here, getting ready to get to 1,000 feet. So again, we're going to bring our nose down to level, come back with the power. Okay, I'm holding a lot of down pressure to keep the nose level here. So now I'm dialing in down trim to take away that pressure, because I should be able to take my hands off the yoke. I can't yet because I haven't dialed away all of the pressure. See, if I let go, see how the nose is still wanting to come up because I'm holding down pressure. So I'm still dialing away that pressure by putting in down trim. See, that's pretty good there. I'm hands off. So let's land here. So we can go ahead and turn our downwind. And again, for our spacing, I'm going to try to be somewhere right around where our jury strut fittings are. That's looking pretty good. Bad. So here's Bangor International. This is runway 15. Alright, so we're going to come back with the power, holding some back pressure to just bleed off that airspeed. And now we're going to be trimming to take away that back pressure. We're going to trim for 60. Okay, I'm hands off right there. And you see we're at 60 miles an hour. So we'll keep coming around here. This is our base leg. The runway is right here. See how our airspeed's looking nice? I am going to have to come in with just a little bit of power and go ahead and we'll turn final. We'll do a 3-point landing on this one. See, I'm using throttle to maintain this picture here. Try to keep the same distance from the dashboard to my touchdown point. And you see our airspeed is being maintained at 60 because we trimmed for 60. A little bumpy there. And there, we'll get ready to do our flare. Hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. There we go. A little bounce. Someone's out watching us. Looks like she's on the telephone. So I'll stop here also and give you just a little tour of Griffin Field. Again, I created this scenery. There are a couple of airplanes here. Alright, let's get out and I'll give you a little tour of the airport. So this is Griffin Field. Nice little hangar here. There are a few airplanes based here. So this is the runway, one direction. I can't remember what the numbers are. I think this is, no, it's the other runway. The other runway I think is 11 and 29. This runway I think is 11 and 29. You see there are a few homes here. But it's a fun little area to fly out of. Some gravel pits around. You'll see we've got some equipment working in the gravel pits. I think you can see the front end loaders moving some material. Just start to see Treworgy's farm, the red barn up there. So this is a nice little airport. It's in Levant, Maine. You actually have 2 grass strips. So neat little place to come fly to. And I created this scenery. This airport actually does have a locator. It's Papa Golf 1. Alright, well, let's jump in the 140 and we'll finish our flight. Well, there, let's get the bird fired up again. Mixture is full. Let's go ahead. I did just go with, let's see here. We should be all set. Everything is looking good. Okay, bring the flaps up. Tail wheels coming up. Let's go ahead and rotate. We'll let the nose come down a little bit just to gain a little airspeed, because we can climb out at, I don't know, 65, 70. Again, I'm adjusting trim while we're doing this. So again, you want to be able to fly kind of hands off if you can, even on the climb out. So I'm trimmed right there at about, I don't know, 68. So we'll turn cross and continue right around for downwind. We'll level off at 1,000 feet. You see, I'm holding no back pressure, hands are off the yoke. So there you got a good look at the deer and bunny rabbit. See what I'm saying? I think the more I look at it, I think the large animal is a pig. I'm still not sure about the little one. What do you think? We're a little close, just a teeny bit, so yeah, that looks good for our offset. Pretty good on our trim. There's the end of the runway, so we'll come back with our power. I'm going to come in with some flaps. Again, I'm holding some back pressure, bleed off some of that airspeed, waiting to get to about 60. That looks good. I'm hands off right now, so we are trimmed for 60. Let's come around here. Oh, this isn't the gravel pit that we've got the equipment in, is it? That's alright. So here's our airstrip right here. Let's go ahead and turn final. So we're looking to be just a little bit high. So what we can do now is bring in a slip. I'm putting in full right rudder and left aileron, and that is crabbing us along. that allows us to descend at a greater rate of speed, descent rate, but still maintain the same airspeed. So there. Now flare. So here's a little better view of the slip. You can see the rudder pedals and the control yoke. So you see I'm going to start to bring in full right rudder and left aileron. That'll crab the airplane sideways so the fuselage is into the wind, creating more drag that allows us to increase our rate of descent without gaining airspeed. So I start to take the rudder out, level the wings, and we prepare for our flare. I'll show you a front view and a rear view of the slip as well. Here is a view of the slip from the rear. You see I'm coming in with the right rudder, and I've got left aileron, so that's why the wings are tilted to the left. And you see how the airplane is crabbing, and so that whole side of the fuselage is exposed, creating drag. I've released the right rudder, leveled the wings, and preparing for the flare. Here's a view of the slip from behind the pilot. This gives you a good look at the crab that is established by creating a slip. So there, I'm now releasing the rudder and leveling the wings and preparing for the flare. So here is the last view of the slip. You see I'm coming in with the rudder now. You can see how the airplane is skidding. The fuselage is exposed to the wind. So again, it's cross controls, full right rudder, left aileron. And now I'm releasing the rudder, leveling the wings, and we'll prepare for the flare. Slips are really cool, and they're a lot of fun. Alright, well, let's head over to the little strip I mentioned before that we saw, the Lake Road strip. We saw it when we were coming to Griffin Field. Keep climbing out here, and we should get a little peek of the strip here soon. Okay, you see this house right here? This is where the strip is. The strip runs this direction. See this little field right here? So here's the end of the strip. You can come right in around here. Let's go ahead and see if we can do a little fancy approach right from. This wouldn't be a nice standard approach, but this makes it a little bit more fun to kind of do a non-standard approach. Probably going to be high. Give it a try. See a four-wheeler out there. Well, that wasn't too bad. We'll make this a full stop. Let's hold that off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. That was better. So this is Lake Road Strip. We'll taxi up to the hangar and we'll get out and I'll give you a little look. This is another scenery I've done. I'm trying to do all the local airports here in Maine that I fly from. Got the chickens out. Oh, the dog's barking at us. Oh, we've got a little grilling activity going on. Maybe we can get ourselves a burger. Well, let's get out. I'll give you a little tour of the airport. Well, welcome to Lake Road Strip. You see, we got the family out there, chickens, dogs all excited. See the little boy running in the field out there. So this is a fun little airport. Got a little barbecue activity going on. Nice little Mustang over there. So this is a fun strip. You see, coming over the wires can be a little bit more challenging. We didn't come over the wires. My gamepad is working opposite directions, so that always makes it interesting. This strip, of course, it is only in one direction or one airstrip. You know, we were spoiled on the last strip actually having two different runways. But this is the Lake Road Strip, also located in Levant, Maine. Nice little strip. All right. So I think we'll call it quits. And I'll show you some more of the Maine airports in some latter flights. All right. Until next time, have a good one. Thank you again for watching. And if you could, please show your support for this video and the channel by liking and subscribing, so others like you can find the channel. Thanks.